happening over and over again. I want to speak Anthony Martial. Let's talk football for a moment, for a while. Cavani came on, gets his goal. I love Anthony Martial, but I thought he was again woeful today in every bit. And listen, I don't want whataboutism, but Rashford wasn't great either. Rashford wasn't great, but he's had quite a few good performances this year. For me, Martial hasn't put in a performance yet. I know he missed 3 games after being sent off. That's his own fault. Is his place going to come under pressure soon? Because I want to see Cavani given some actual game time, not just coming on for 5-10 minutes. Does anyone think that Martial's position is under threat?
You know what's interesting about Cavani? Cavani, brilliant striker. I haven't consistently watched 90-minute games of Cavani to know that is he a striker who can hold up the ball and link the play. He's very much a guy who runs in behind and gets on the end of thing like a proper number 9. What Martial brings is that hold-up play, which it wasn't too bad today, but it's the link. When you hold up the ball now, you need to do something with it. You need to pass with it, you need to dribble, and he wasn't able to do that today. He hasn't been able to do that consistently over any 90 minutes this season. We saw it in spurts against Leipzig. He played, he got a goal against Istanbul, but Cavani, is he suited to as a one person up front, exactly how Solskjaer wants to play? I'm not 100% sure. Getting the goal today, of course, it puts Martial under pressure, but that's what I want. I love Martial as well, but I think Aaron tweeted as well about Luke Shaw and Telles. Telles comes in, Luke Shaw's performances go up. That's what we need in every position. So Martial should be under pressure because he's like, damn, but Cavani's gonna take my space. I need to up my performances. I wouldn't drop him just yet, no, but it may come to that point.
What I find about Martial, and by the way, where the hell's eye test? Eye test, always hear when we lose, never hear when we win. Told you, fake Man United fan. Man's a customer, man's a prick. You can do one. That's true. I'm not having it. Like, if you come in when we lose, but not when we win, you're not a Man United fan. It's as simple as, I don't care if you think I'm evil for saying that. It's the truth. But what I would say is about Martial, my fear for Martial is he doesn't like competition. Whenever Martial's had direct competition for his position at the club before, he seems to go within himself. And you always know this is coming because Martial FC become very, very noisy, if that makes sense. Like when he got his shirt number taken away, I thought that was disrespectful by Jose, yes. But I wanted to see this young man fight Zlatan and be like, let's go, bruv. Let's me and you, let's go for this position. Where what I saw more was, I'm going to send my agent out to try and find me a new club straight away. And that's my fear for Anthony Martial. I don't know if he responds well to having those competition for places where Big Mac Luke Shaw, he seems on it at the moment.
Yeah, I think Tony's not as far away as we think he is in terms of getting his form back. In terms of that super chat, someone has passed away, but it wasn't today. It was on the transfer window. United died, fam. That's why. United are dead as a football club. But anyway, in terms of Tony, I don't think he's actually as far as we think in terms of getting his form back. He's getting the first section of the play right, which is holding up the ball, turning and starting to run at players. It's just that final little execution, that final little touch, which comes with a bit more match sharpness and a bit more confidence. He scored midweek in the Champions League. He scored against Leipzig as well. So I think with Tony, he just needs to get going and then he'll be fine again, because you don't score 23 goals last season and be one of our best players by being crap. You know what I mean? So it's still there. People calling him to be dropped or sold. I'm like, yo, guys, relax a bit. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's a fair challenge. I mean, but I see Marcus Rashford make one mistake in a game and people want him crucified like he's Guy Fawkes.
Yeah, and that's the issue in our fan base. Everyone needs to relax. Like Marcus Rashford today, some of those runs had me on the edge of the seat. It was beautiful. And then it's just the last execution.
And at the end, yeah, I mean, I nearly broke one of my screens when we had that counter attack, and he should have slid the ball on the outside. But Aaron's a prime example of that. I've watched games with Aaron. Aaron is far more frustrated with a Rashford mistake than he is a Martial mistake, and I think that's based on personal preference. And I totally get and understand that. I'm just asking the question. For me, I haven't seen Martial put in a solid, good performance, and even a 7 out of 10 all season. And I think that for me, I
think, Terry, when you consider that, remember, we didn't have a preseason. He gets sent off against Spurs. So his season's been very stop-start, whereas all the other players who we said, wasn't match fit, were tired. He has never got to that stage now where he's getting a consistent game every twice a week, where he can actually get that match sharpness where other players have. So I'm gonna give him a lot more time, because as KJ said, man scored 20 goals last season. We know he's a quality player, but I like the competition for places, and Cavani took his goal well. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, what I'm saying.
I'm asking you guys a question as Manchester United fans. Do you care about your future or do you care about winning right now? Because if you want to care about your future, you want to make sure Martial is that guy week in, week out for the future of the club. But if you care about just winning games, put Tarzan in. Tarzan's going to get you tap-ins every day, and his movement's amazing.
Well, we need to remember this about Cavani. One, yeah, he ain't done nothing to warrant being called Tarzan, fam. So relax with the Tarzan.
No, he looks like it. He looks like
how
it.
he looks. He's saying.
But with Cavani, if you actually watch PSG in a lot of their games, Cavani is a striker that thrives off a lot of chances. It's just who he is. Right now, as United, we're not making those ample enough chances for him. So I'm not saying he will come in and do bad, but it's like, will he be any better right now? I don't know.
Igal, I look at your point from this point. I get where you're coming from, and it's a fair challenge. My view is this: I think about the future. You have to think about the future while still taking care of the now. However, my one concern about Martial, said it for 3 or 4 years, I don't know how he responds to competition. If he doesn't have the minerals to fight for a place and elevate himself when there's pressure, there is no future.
Can I address that though? Because I agree with you sometimes, but then when I think about during Martial's career, probably the time where he had the most competition was when Jose was doing the back and forth with him and Rashford. Remember that time where it was basically like Rashford would come on, score, Martial would come on, score. And I thought he responded well during that time. But where I agree with you is you're right when it is a direct, because the Martial Rashford thing wasn't really a direct threat to his position. It was almost like they were just figuring out who's going to get it. When it is a threat in a sense of like it's going to be taken, sometimes he goes within himself. I don't think he's there yet. I don't think he's quite there yet because I don't think Cavani has done enough. I don't think Cavani's done enough to warrant getting the start. I think the moment we see Martial get dropped once, that's when we'll truly find out. Because if we see him get dropped and Cavani gets started for a full 90, that's when, and then the next time Martial plays, we'll find out, I think, truly at this stage now, whether he has the minerals to be a striker for Manchester United, because this competition for places at the number 9 is always, it has to be there for our club.
Yeah, and I understand that. And the reason I'm asking the questions, I have to be very fair as a host here on the Football Terrace, because when it's Firmino goals or lack of threat that's going on these runs, we ask those same questions, and we want to be fair to that, and we give people an opportunity to put things out. Baz here says Martial is 24 years old. His time is now. He needs to take it now. At this level, we don't have time to wait for a player. On Igal's point, that's one thing I would say. Man is 20. Like, he's not. We've got to be very careful with Martial that we don't start treating him how Chelsea fans treat Loftus-Cheek. Like, man's like 32. Do you know what I mean? I know he's not like 32 years old, still calling him a kid. Lingard had that, didn't he? Man was 27, 28 years old, had kids, maybe even had grandkids, and man's all calling him a child still. Like, we've got to be very mindful of that when it comes to Anthony Martial. We do. Look, it's going to be an interesting international break. Aaron, I want to come to you first on this. Do you think they're going to dismiss Oli?
I don't think they will because of the good result, when really and truly they should. Like I've always said, he's reached the ceiling, and if Edward would for once in his life, if he wants to make the right decisions, now is the time, innit? Like, I think, I'm not going to say people are going to love him for it, but people are going to look at him and say, all right, cool. For once in your life, you've done something right, innit? So if you really want to get rid of him because the results are bad and whatnot, now is the time. You've got 2 weeks to get someone out, get someone else in. Let him settle in and whatever, do you know what I mean? Make him do his press conferences, let him get used to training facilities and all these things. If the rumors are true of the contacts, I don't know if it's true, Terry, you might know more about this than myself. But if it is true, get it done, innit? Get it done, because it makes no sense to, like I said, to win now and then it's papering over the cracks, whether it's the results or a board level, and then everyone goes on international break. Now everyone's happy again. Everyone goes on international break, comes back, and it's good vibes again. Pictures here, throwback this, throwback that. And then West Brom, obviously now we know West Brom is a relegation candidate, but we can go into, before the game, nobody here can tell me, oh, we're going to win. Like, we're going to be confident, but we're still going to be like, ooh, like, it can go wrong. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I will say on that, 100%. Man United struggle. We lose more games at the moment and struggle more against the tiny, shitty, crap teams than we do the bigger ones. Like, when we play big teams, like
that's the thing.
I mean, when we play big teams like PSG, RB Leipzig, Chelsea, we play teams with historic threats against us, like Newcastle, Everton. We turn up. When we play the tiny teams, like the Istanbuls, the Crystal Palaces, the Arsenals, all these minuscule piddly little team.
It still hurts. It still hurts.
Like,
It still hurts.
It's crazy. It's
And
crazy.
we've got